Brandon Lang on the line right now. BrandonLang.com. You had a good football weekend.
Couldn't have gone better.
Couldn't have gone better. Couldn't have gone better.
You know, when you say, I think even came on your show and said, there's nothing on the face of the planet Earth that's going to stop the Atlanta Falcons from reaching 40.
Yeah.
And I said in my analysis, I would be shocked if they didn't score over 40. And I said, now, can Aaron Rodgers score 37? Well, if he gets going, yeah. And it's ironic that when Green Bay played the Giants had a chance to go up 17-0, and they didn't. They let Green Bay hang around. Green Bay buried them. And then if you look at Atlanta-Seattle, when Hester returned the punt return, you're looking at Seattle taking a 17-7 lead in that game. And, the holding penalty, are you with me? It was 10-7,
yes. Yep.
And Hester returns the punt down to the Atlanta, 4-yard line.
Yep.
You're looking at first and goal. You're looking at 17-7. The game takes on a whole different characteristic to it.
Yeah.
But instead, they're backed up on their own, too, because of a dumb holding penalty of some moron who's trying to be a somebody, and the whole game changes. Well, Green Bay makes that field goal, and that kid doesn't fumble, and that game gets to be 10-7. It takes on a whole different.
Right.
Now, could Green Bay's defense have stopped them? No, but Green Bay's offense would have had momentum, and Green Bay would have been sniffing that back door down 13 or down 10 late. I'll take it to my grave. And when Atlanta jumped on them and got to the 24-0 mark, it was 17-0 on that last drive. I said, get 7 here, because if you get 3 and Aaron gets 7 and it's 20-7, whole different game. So both games. I said both games would go over. So it's a great matchup.
And McCarthy even said in his press conference, the crowd noise had a big effect. They couldn't get a few plays in. I don't understand. I don't want to question his coaching abilities, but
question it.
Why he would defer against that offense. He gets the toss. He should have tried to score first, quiet the crowd early, and get that momentum. And I don't understand it. I know that's the game plan all year, but
I've questioned him for years on the amount of money that man has cost me with his play calling and his ignorance in game situations. And I said it on your show. When you sit next to an NFL referee on a plane flight for 2.5 hours, you better believe I'm going to ask pertinent questions. And when I sat next to Bill Vinovich, and I said to him, I know you just did the Jags game. If you want, go to sleep. I know you're tired. I won't say a word to you. But if you don't mind talking, I know who you are. I'm a big football fan. I got a ton of questions, so you tell me right now. And he goes, no, I feel like talking. I said, great. And for the next 2.5 hours, we never stopped talking. And I said to him, biggest mistake you see NFL coaches make when you're doing games, you and your crew, and you're sitting there. He goes, number one mistake they make, clock management. They have no clue how to manage a clock, and you have no idea how many games they lose because they don't know how to manage a clock. And Mr. Mike McCarthy is one of those, and it's comical.
What do you think? 2 blowouts over the weekend, and now we have the Patriots-Falcons. What do you think of this one?
Well, when you're going for Super Bowl winner 21 of 24 in your career,
wow,
there's a process. I'm 23-2. 7-3 since the movie came out, 13-0 before the movie came out. The 3 that I lost, Indy and New Orleans. I caddied for Irsay at Riviera, and that was probably the first one I was never objective. Next one, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. Had Green Bay all week. Last second, switched to Pittsburgh plus 3.5. And if you remember that game, Green Bay was up 3, 3rd and 11 from their own 19-yard line, 5 minutes to go. First down, they're going to take it to the 2-minute warning. They throw a pass to Jennings. He splits Ike Taylor and Polamalu at the 30, busts it up to the 45. McCarthy now has field position. He runs a draw, get down to the Pittsburgh 45. Next play, now that they're on Pittsburgh's side of the field, they throw a pass, get down to the 20, and they kick a covering field goal with 1:20 to go to cover the 3.5. So that one hurt. Pittsburgh probably should have covered that one. And then I was on the wrong side of Denver, Seattle. Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense, and Seattle just destroyed Peyton Manning. So with all that being said, there's a process that I go through. And my wife says, well, who is it today? Because I'll walk in the kitchen and say, I'm really thinking that Atlanta plus the points is the right side of the game. Tuesday, I'll walk in and say, I think you just can't go against them. And it's a process. And here's where I'm at now. There's nothing the Atlanta defense is going to be able to do to stop Tom Brady and New England's offense from scoring over 30 points in this game. Nothing on the face of the planet, because when you look at the offenses that they've faced all year, they've not seen an offense like the Patriots.
Yeah.
And you're talking about an Atlanta defense, and they say, well, they've played better as of late. Well, you play the Rams. Jared Goff doesn't scare you. Play the Niners. I mean, that's laughable. Saints put up 32 in Atlanta on you. Seattle got 20 on you. Green Bay got 21 and probably should have had more. So you can say that their defense is playing better. Better than what? You gave up 26 to Seattle the first time, 33 to the Chargers, 28 to Tampa Bay, 24 to Philadelphia, 29 against the Chiefs. So you had 2 rookies and 2 second-year men in the secondary. You're not stopping Brady on a fast track. Here's the million-dollar question that I'm asking myself today. How good's New England's defense? That's my question. How good? Because they've not faced an offense like the Atlanta Falcons. And this is an Atlanta offense that went into Seattle, put up 24, and probably should have had another touchdown on the pass interference to Julio Jones that wasn't called. They went into Denver when Denver was healthy and put up 23 on them. So Atlanta's going to score. So the only question I'm asking myself right now, how good is New England's defense? Because if I think they're as good as the number 1 scoring defense they are, then you lay the 3. And you hope, and if it goes to 3.5, you buy the half.
Yeah.
But this has, to me, this has back and forth written all over it. Either way you go, you'll probably be okay. You could take New England and buy it down to 2.5. You could take Atlanta and buy it up to 3.5. I think this game's going to be sniffing that 3 number all day long. And you just got to ask yourself the question, is that, from a losing record to getting to the Super Bowl, is Atlanta a year away? Do you know what I mean? Are they a year away? Are they a year ahead of schedule? Because you look at New England, they're a whole different beast with 2 weeks to prepare. And so then when you break down the game itself, last thing, if Atlanta can't get there with their front 4, the game's over. Because if you have to blitz Brady and play man-to-man behind it, their corners and safeties aren't good enough to play man-to-man, and they're going to get shredded. The reason why the Giants beat the Patriots twice is because they have great outside rushers, they get pressure with 4, they play man behind it, and they got the corners and safeties to cover, and the Giants basically say, we can get to Tom Brady before Tom can get someone open, and it's a game plan that works for the Giants because they have the secondary to back it up.
Yeah.
Problem is, Atlanta doesn't. So they got to get there with their front 4, and that's where I'm at today.
Again, this weekend is the Pro Bowl, and then Super Bowl is next weekend. How about I wanted to ask you, and we'll see where you are next week. But I wanted to ask you your thoughts on Brett Musburger leaving ESPN. He is going from broadcasting to basically starting up this bookie business or this odds making business with his family. What did you read this?
Yes, he's basically going into the same business that I'm in.
Yeah.
The only difference is he's opening up an 800 tout service where Brent Musburger's going to have salesmen calling guys on the phone selling them picks.
Okay.
It's the same thing. The difference is I don't talk to anybody personally. It's on the internet. I'm not calling you on the phone, forcing you to do something you don't want to do. You come to the website, you buy a pick. Come to the website, you don't buy a pick. It's that easy. That way you're making the decision, not me. What's ironic is there's only 2 announcers on the face of the planet Earth, 2 announcers that when you're watching a game and it's 3 minutes to go in the game and the point spread or the over-under is in play, they will make mention of it. Only 2 have the balls to do it. Who are they?
Well, obviously Brent Musburger.
Yep.
Who's the other one? It's not Gruden.
Can't believe you guys don't get this. He says it all the time.
Not Nance.
Al Michaels.
Oh.
You'll watch that Sunday night game, and someone will score, and someone will, with 2 minutes to go, you go, this game's not over yet.
Wow.
So it's not surprising. Musburger was a huge gambler. And this goes back to when Monday Night Football was started, because I believe the producer of Monday Night Football, the guy that came up with the idea, I can't remember what his name is, it's Howard Cosell's book, was a huge gambler. And the reason why he pushed ABC with the Monday night game on, because it was the last game gamblers had to bet before they get out of the hole Monday night.
And it's funny, Al Michaels once said that he did a lot of gambling with Pete Rose during his days in Cincinnati.
Oh, sure.
Thanks, Al.
I caddied for Al Michaels at Riviera a couple of times once during football season during the week when they'd be talking point spreads.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anything, but Al Michaels and Brent Musburger are huge gamblers, and Al will talk about it. And Chris Collinsworth will laugh and go, "I'm not going to touch that one."
Well, they can't control the outcome of a game.
But you'll even see like guys who are doing play-by-play for a game will say, "I don't want to pick a winner." When they do like the picks pregame show, they'll say, "I'm calling the game, so I can't tell you who I think is going to win." Can they? Could he get in trouble for betting on games or just betting on games he's calling?
No, not at all. There's nothing wrong with betting games for an announcer.
All right.
Like he, you can't fix them, but it's, listen, it's hypocritical. I've said this for years that the NFL doesn't embrace gambling on football because ESPN's embraced it now, which is hypocritical because every pregame show, ESPN, Scott Van Pelt, everybody's talking point spread, everybody's talking games, everybody's talking who they like, everybody's talking this, everybody's got an opinion, yet the NFL still does not embrace sports betting.
We'll check with you next week, Brandon.
Got it,
guys. BrandonLang.com is the website. Check it out before you do anything. And, of course, the big game next week. Remember, he was in the movie Two for the Money was the movie, and played by Matthew McConaughey. He was addicted to sports betting, and he left the business in the movie, but he's clearly back.